Have you ever heard of a kingdom so small? Its citizens were mostly goats. Off the coast of Sardinia lies a rocky island called Tavolara. In the 19th century, a goat herder named Giuseppe Bertoleone declared himself king, and, according to family legend, even received royal recognition from Queen Victoria herself. This is not a fairy tale. It's the real story of a micronation that once called itself the smallest kingdom in the world. Welcome to Tavolara. Tavolara is a small mountainous island in the Tyrrhenian Sea, off the northeastern coast of Sardinia. It stretches only about 5 kilometers in length and is mostly rocky terrain, with steep cliffs and patches of scrubland. But despite its small size and rugged geography, Tavolara has one of the most bizarre political stories in European history. In the early 1800s, a man named Giuseppe Bertoleone moved to the island with his family. He was a goat herder looking for solitude and land where his animals could roam freely. There were no permanent settlements on the island at the time, and Giuseppe essentially became its sole inhabitant. Then, in 1836, an event occurred that would change the course of his life. King Charles Albert of Sardinia reportedly stopped by Tavolara during a naval expedition. According to the Bertoleone family legend, Giuseppe welcomed the king and entertained him on the island. Impressed by Giuseppe's hospitality and solitary rule over the land, the king allegedly declared Tavolara a sovereign kingdom and named Giuseppe its rightful ruler. Though no formal documents survive, this encounter became the foundation for the Kingdom of Tavolara. When Giuseppe died, his son Paolo Verne claimed the throne, and the island entered a new chapter, one of goats, royalty, and unrecognized sovereignty. Under King Paolo I, the Kingdom of Tavolara began to resemble an actual monarchy, at least symbolically. The Bertoleone family adopted royal titles, designed a family crest, and created a ceremonial constitution. Though the population of the island remained extremely small, just the royal family and a handful of fishermen, they operated with full royal flair. The most intriguing part of Tavolara's royal legacy involves a supposed meeting between Paolo Far and Queen Victoria of the United Kingdom. According to oral tradition, Paolo traveled to England and met with the Queen, who was so taken by his story that she took a photograph with him. That photo, the family claims, was later hung in Buckingham Palace in a room labeled The Royal Family of Tavolara. To this day, no such photograph has ever been produced publicly, and the British Royal Archives make no mention of the event. Still, the legend persists and remains a core part of Tavolara's mythos. After Paolo I died in 1886, the crown passed to his son Carlo I, then to Paolo II, and finally to a regency. Despite having no international recognition, the family maintained their royal identity. Their reign may not have held political power, but it carried the weight of tradition and eccentric dignity. In the 20th century, the story of Tavolara took a strange and unexpected turn. This time in the world of philately, postage stamps. Somehow, the Kingdom of Tavolara found itself at the center of a stamp-related controversy that still puzzles collectors today. Postage stamps labeled Tavolara began circulating in philatelic markets across Europe. These stamps featured imagery like goats, crowns, royal portraits, and even the rocky cliffs of the island itself. Some were artistically well made, with vibrant colors and official-looking cancellation marks. But here's the twist. Tavolara had never officially issued postage. The Bertoleone family denied involvement in the creation or sale of these stamps. Experts believe they were made by independent printers or stamp fraudsters looking to cash in on the novelty of Tavolara's royal legend. Nevertheless, the stamps became highly collectible. Some fetched high prices in auctions, while others were dismissed as curiosities. Ironically, this fake postage gave Tavolara a kind of international exposure it had never enjoyed before. Despite being unofficial and even fraudulent, the stamps helped keep the kingdom's name in circulation. Quite literally. Today, Tavolara stamps remain prized among niche collectors, a lasting reminder that even a kingdom without a post office can leave a mark on the world. By the 1930s, the Kingdom of Tavolara had effectively faded into obscurity. Italy had formally incorporated the island, and no other nation ever recognized its sovereignty. The royal family ceased political activities, and the monarchy quietly slipped into symbolic status. But that wasn't the end. The Bertoleone family still lives on the island to this day. They operate a seaside restaurant, welcome curious tourists, and proudly refer to themselves as Tavolara's royalty. In fact, if you visit the island now, you can dine in a restaurant owned by the king and see the royal family tomb, where generations of Bertoleones are buried beneath the island's cliffs. Despite their lack of political power, the Bertoleones maintain the monarchy as a cultural identity. They tell the story of King Giuseppe, of Queen Victoria's photograph, and of the postage stamp scandal. These stories keep Tavolara alive, not as a functioning nation, but as a symbol of independence, legacy, and myth. Tavolara remains one of the most curious micronations in history, a kingdom built on family, legend, and goats. And in a world dominated by bureaucracy and borders, sometimes myth is more powerful than recognition. Tavolara may never have sat in the United Nations, but it sat in the imagination of all who heard its story. A goat herder who became a king, a queen who may or may not have smiled in approval, and a kingdom that existed without war, wealth, or walls. If you enjoyed this dive into one of the world's smallest monarchies, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We've got more weird countries, strange rulers, and forgotten kingdoms coming soon. Because history is full of borders, and even better, the ones nobody notices. Nobody.